CrossFit Inconceivable. Welcome to today's workout, which is called Francy. This is a hybrid of the workout Fran, as well as Nancy, and a few other puns in there as well. So we've got 5 rounds for time. It's going to be a 400-meter run, so hopefully you have 400 meters either at a track or down the road and back marked out somewhere. I've got it mapped out. I used an app. I just typed in like onthegomap.com and I was able to trace out 400 meters. You could also do a 2-minute run out back, 1 minute out, 1 minute back. So we got 5 rounds, 400-meter run. You can also row or bike as well. We've got 15 front squats with an odd object of your choice and 15 bent over rows. So for this one, you're going to need some kind of odd object. For me, what helps the best is I've got this backpack I don't use. I filled it with plenty of towels. I've got some weighted stuff in there, so it's pretty hefty. And we're going to be using it today for front squats as well as our bent over rows. So let's go ahead and start our warm-up real quick. We'll just start with some toe taps with a reach, just to start getting some work in our hamstrings, opening them up a bit here. We'll get about 10 toe taps and reach up tall. All right, and then we're gonna take our legs wide, and then we'll do an opposite hand to foot and reach, just getting the inside of the hamstring here a little bit differently, kind of working on the picking up motion, making sure our hamstrings are opened up so that when we bend down to pick up our object, it's a little bit easier for us to do that. All right, and then after getting about 10 of those, 5 on each side, then we'll do some wide leg Cossack squats. So go ahead and take the legs out wide. You'll lunge into one leg, sending the weight back on the heels, and then lunge into the other leg, weight back on the heels. So let's go ahead and get 5 of these in each direction. Keeping the chest tall, most importantly staying flat through the foot. Starting to warm up our legs here for our squats. Let's go ahead and head into some Samson lunges. So wherever you are, go ahead and take the legs into a lunge. Back knee will come to the floor, driving the hips forward, reaching tall overhead, biceps next to the ears. We'll get about 5 in each direction here. And we're going to go ahead and turn that into a Spider-Man lunge. So on your next lunge, we'll go ahead and come low, bring our hands to the floor, try to bring our forearms as close as we can to the ground. It's getting a little bit of depth in the crease of our hips here. And we'll switch each side, getting about 5 in each direction, spending 1 to 2 seconds, just working down low, keeping it pretty active, pretty dynamic. Keeping your back flat as you go down into each lunge. All right, let's go ahead and get 15 jumping jacks. So wherever you are, we'll go ahead and 15 jumping jacks. Feet out, hands overhead. Awesome, let's turn that into 10 air squats. So go ahead and set your feet for your air squats. Chin up, chest tall. Spend your time going down with each one. First couple might be a little slow, and that's fine. Working on our depth here before we add in our extra load of the bag. All right, let's go ahead and grab your bag or your object that you have. If you need to pause the video and grab that, now's a great time to do it. So we're gonna start with some deadlifts, just to work on picking up the bag, getting it to the hips. So figuring out how you're gonna hold the bag, how you're gonna grab it, by the straps, by the outsides, around the bottom. So let's go ahead and get 10 deadlifts. Squeezing the butt, coming to a stand, being ready to drive through your feet to launch it up to your shoulders. Awesome. Let's do a bent over row. So bent over row is going to be part of our movement that we're going to do. So bent over row, you're going to pick up your object. You're going to hinge at your hips so that your back is flat. Now you want your back to be almost parallel to the floor. It's going to be slightly a little bit higher, perhaps somewhere around 45 degrees, somewhere between 45 degrees and totally flat. So we have our object. We're going to pick it up to a deadlift. We're going to send the hips back, keeping the back flat. Object may not actually touch the floor. It may hover just a few inches. And you're going to send your elbows back, squeeze your back, and bring your object to your chest, rowing it back. So go ahead and get 10 bent over rows. And the main thing here is just keeping that back as flat as possible and not allowing your back to open up as you're lifting the object. We want this all to be in the upper arms and the back, and bringing it to the chest. So it's not up to the chin, we're bringing it right to the ribs and the belly button. After you get your 10 bent over rows, let's go ahead and bring that object to our front rack. So you're gonna have to hold it either goblet style, on the shoulder, however you want to hold this object. So we're going to stand, extend the hips, clean it up to the shoulders, and then however you want to hold it. Let's go ahead and get 10 squats, keeping that chin up tall, making sure our torso angle is not changing. So we're not allowing the bag to dip our shoulders forward. We're staying tall, warming up the legs here. All right. Let's do just a really quick ankle mobility before we get going onto the workout. So if you want to come down to a lunge with me here, we're going to drive our weight of our forearm and chest into our leg, and we're going to spend some time doing some ankle mobility. So go ahead and find this lunged position where you're driving your shin towards your toes and trying to increase the amount of dorsiflexions happening in your ankles. We'll hang out here for a few more seconds and then we'll switch sides. This is a good stretch for the back of your calf too. And we'll go ahead and switch. So using the weight of your forearm and chest to press down your thighs, trying to get your shin as close to your toes as possible. Keep your heel grounded. All right, last thing we're gonna do is just a little bit more hamstring mobility for the run. So we're gonna do, this is called a death march. We're gonna stick one leg forward, we're gonna point the toes, you're gonna lean forward and then just try to reach as far as you can. Then you're going to stick the other foot forward, straight leg, point the toes to the face, and hinge forward with a flat back. So you're keeping the back as flat as possible. Let's go ahead and get 5 per side here. Just getting a little bit more hamstring flexibility. Okay, and then lastly, let's just finish up with another 15 jumping jacks before we head over to our run. So I'll let you go ahead and finish these jumping jacks up. Go ahead and head to the next video, and I'll go ahead and do the workout with you.